Hi everybody, welcome back once again to the Eastfield Gunroom YouTube channel. Once again today we've got another first in terms of the shotgun reviews. But before we crack on with that, if you're watching the video and you haven't already hit that like button, please hit that like button, and also do subscribe to the channel, because without you subscribing and liking, we are not going to be able to bring you fantastic content like this. It does all help us, definitely. Right, onto the gun. So we have got a Fabarm. So for those that don't know, Fabarm is an Italian manufacturer. It's up there in the valley of Gardone Valtrompia with the likes of Beretta, Cesar Guerini, Zolli, Rizzini, all those other Italian ones. And they're a manufacturer, been around for a number of years. I think sort of turn of the century when they were first formed. Certainly been a popular gun here for a number of probably 60 years here in the UK. Always kind of in the middle of the range. And what kind of happens with some of these mid-range manufacturers is they have time in their production schedule and they have the ability to kind of play around with different things and experiment. Whereas, you know, look at the likes of Beretta, they are absolutely flat out working to capacity all the time. And when they bring something to market, you are looking at years and years of R&D and development because it has to be right. Whereas, you know, you've got these other smaller manufacturers that like I say, can afford the time to just play around a bit. And this gun is a classic example of that kind of flexibility that those manufacturers have. So today we're going to look at a Fabarm RS12. Now, the Fabarm axis range, which is what this is, it's kind of this quite funky, if you look at it, non-standard shape of action. You know, we're used to seeing Berettas and Brownings come down here in a straight line, but not with this. We've got this funky shape action, low profile. Now, from memory, the Axis range of guns came out about 2002, something like that, from Fabarm, and they've kind of grown in popularity and in desirability since then. And this is kind of their latest offering. And what manufacturers tend to do these days, they try to offer the shooter the kind of one gun for everything. And we've seen that more and more with kind of the Beretta 694 ACS, which stands for All Competition Shotgun or something like that. Also, you've got other guns like the Blaser F3 Super Sport, which has got adjustable rib, adjustable comb, etc. So this is Fabarm's offering. This is the RS12, but this is the QRR. So it sounds like something out of James Bond, but it's not. So like I said, it's modelled on the RS12, which is Fabarm's kind of main competition gun these days. Now, the QRR actually stands for Quick Release Rib. So what you've got, unbelievably, you're not going to gun with an adjustable rib. You've actually got a gun with a detachable rib. And this gun comes with two separate ribs, which obviously ultimately changes the point of impact, and it makes it a very versatile gun for doing a bit of everything. So we'll start, as I always do, with the action. We'll move on to the barrels and ultimately that cool rib in a minute. Black action, nice bit of tasteful scroll work. We've got this funky design. You've got this rounded bit here that looks like a eagle's beak or a dairy triangle. You've got these stub pins, hinge disc, whatever you want to call them. So it's a similar kind of design to Beretta. A little bit of engraving on the back strap. The rest of the furniture is plain, so there's nothing on the top lever. There is nothing on the trigger guard, which I think is quite a nice touch because it's not too over the top, not in your face. A little bit of gold on there. We've got Axis RS, which makes it sound like a mop off QVC. And the barrel selector on the back of there. Adjustable trigger, standard kind of Allen key setup. Fire the Allen key in, move it depending on where you want in terms of changing the length of pull. The main reason people tend to do this is because maybe they've got short or extra long fingers, or maybe they are shooting in different clothing, kind of winter, summer, etc. So moving on to the barrels, really nice glossy finish. I like the bluing, smart that. Nothing on the barrel wings at all, just read owner's manual before use. Obviously that's essential. And on this side we've got Fabarm, a little bit about the barrel system and the proofing. We'll talk about the barrel system in a second. You've got these lumps here, proof marks, etc., all the standard kind of bits. The gun is coil spring operated. I've not actually shot one of these for a number of years. From memory, when I shot it, I didn't think the trigger pulls were dreadful. And let's not forget, this is kind of a mid-range gun. It's not a very expensive shotgun. And then you kind of move on to the barrels, which are completely different in themselves. So the barrels are actually tapered 18.4 bore. Now, again, when I said at the start of the video, manufacturers like Fabarm can play around with stuff, they can experiment. Now, what they did a few years ago, maybe 15 years ago, is they came up with the tri-bore barrel system. Now, the tri-bore barrel system is incredibly clever. What you've got a nominal bore, but a long forcing cone. Okay, stay with me. Then you've got an overboard middle section, and then that runs into the choke. Now, because of the way that system works, this was initially the only gun in the world that you could actually fire steel shot through full choke because of the constriction and the manufacturing process of the barrel. And that in itself is incredible, because had this steel shot thing been an issue 15 years ago, you could argue the only gun you could have put high performance steel through any choke would have been a Fabarm. So the barrels themselves are floating all the way across, and what I mean by that, there is no center rib. Now this bit here, this little block in the middle, is dovetailed, and it's got a hanger system on the end, not dissimilar to a Krieghoff. I'm not entirely sure whether you can change the hanger for a slightly bigger or a slightly smaller one, which of course, if you look at the case of a Krieghoff, will change the points of impact. Again, clever bit of kit in being able to change the point of impact. Now, in terms of the barrels, Fabarm have actually gone one step further. So not only have we got tri-bore technology, Axis chokes, which are longer than the M6, what we've got on the top, we've got this QRR, quick release rib. So what we've got is we've got a, I would imagine it's some kind of alloy 10x8 tapered rib, but it's actually removable. So in the package, in this case, that we'll show you shortly, you get two ribs. You get one that gives you a 50-50 point of impact and one that gives you 65-35. So that way you'd be set up to use this gun for sporting clays, or without a doubt, you could also use it for kind of DTL and other trap shooting disciplines. I won't show you how to remove the rib right now. I'll wait till we get inside the box and we'll have a look at the goodies, and I'll do that then. So that's the barrels, standard spring-loaded ejectors. Incidentally, the gun weighs 8 pounds 3 ounces. I've put it on my Magic Kitchen scales. In terms of balance, not bad at all. Now, eagle-eyed viewers may have noticed this is actually a left-handed gun. Now, again, you go back 30 years, Fabarm have always offered left-handed guns, particularly semi-auto. I can remember a time in the UK whereby if you wanted to get hold of a left-handed semi-auto, there was very, very little choice. I think it was basically Remington and Fabarm, because they've always kind of catered for sort of niche parts of the market. So moving on to the stock itself, we've got a Monte Carlo profile, which I think is really, really nice. I mean, I'm not left-handed, but when I pick it up and mount it, it does feel good. I like the height of it, I like the thickness of the comb. We've got a left-handed palm swell. Obviously not ideal for me, again, I'm right-handed, but from a left-handed shooter point of view, really, really nice. So we've got this nice, quite tightly swept radius pistol grip, which again feels nice in the hand. We've got this triple point checker in that goes all the way around. It's a nicely put together thing. We've got like a microcell kind of Cervelati recoil pad on the back with the famous Fabarm lion logo, a bit like the Peugeot, in the opposite way, like a Peugeot line in the mirror. Monte Carlo adjustable comb, and then the fore-end style, we've got kind of a flat-sided, not dissimilar to a Parazzi, but a little bit of roundness to it. Like I said, it just feels like a nice bit of kit. It's a shame I've not been able to get hold of a right-handed one to show you, but this particular gun, 30-inch, also available in 32, and very, very versatile. Like I said, we've got a Monte Carlo adjustable, so it helps for a more head-up shooting position, people who have got long necks, etc. The length of pull, incidentally, is over 15 inch. You've got a nice long stock and an adjustable trigger. So again, adding even more versatility to this particular shotgun. So moving on to the box and what this QRR system is all about. That's the quick release rib if you've just joined us. So we've got this nice big blue Fabarm box, so a nice logo on the front. Inside we've got some plush blue stuff, kind of a foamy velour kind of thing. And like I said, there's a lot of stuff going on with this gun. So to start with, I'm going to take one of these chokes out and show you. So this is the Axis choke, or Axis choke I should say, Axis High Performance. And like I said, this is originally, not now, but it was the only choke you could actually shoot steel shot through full choke. I mean, look at the length of that. That's longer than a standard kind of Beretta Optima HP or a Invector DS choke. It is very, very long. I think they're 97mm. So if you want to take the rib off, what do you have to do? There's a little pin. You just get the Allen key as a punch, knock it out, slide the rib forward, and it literally pops off like that. Really, really smart, really clever, really, really easy to do. So like I said, if we go inside the case, pull back these Velcro straps and reveal the other rib. As you can see, that's quite a bit taller because that's designed for the trap shooting element of this shotgun, and that is a 65-35 point of impact. So just to prove how great I am at this, if I want to put the other rib on, we offer it up to the end of the barrel, push it back over the hole, get me little knobbly bit, pop it straight in, And then we've gone from having a sporting gun setup to a trap gun setup. How cool is that? Alongside the bits and pieces in the box, so we've got the 2 ribs, we've got a nice full complement of these super long Fabarm chokes. Again, even the lion is on the box, you know, he gets about this old Fabarm lion. Nice little touch. That's the tool for moving the adjustable trigger in there, so 5 chokes in total. Interestingly enough, what they do at Fabarm is they actually use numbers to denominate which choke you've got rather than notches. And I have to say, I've seen a lot of shotgun chokes in my time. These are absolutely the business. They feel really, really strong. They've got some nice laser etching on the top. Hyperbolic Axis HP. I'm getting really good at these movie trailer voices. So super, super long chokes. Nicely finished. Got a little bit of engine turning like knurling on the top. Nice red band. Really smart looking choke, I have to say. Then you've got the keys for the locking of the box. Make sure no one steals your blue velour or your QRR rib. Choke key, again, nice bit of equipment that is, with a thread cleaner, something you don't see too often these days. I'm not sure why they decided to put some red plastic through it. It looks like a push pop, but that is what it is. And then we've gotten the all-important book of words with something you don't always get, particularly with some of the mainstream brands like Browning and Beretta, an exploded diagram, which is really, really handy. Tells you how to remove the forend properly, and then you've got the all-important book of words. Just to give you an indication, this gun is about 6 or 7 years old. Now, I never like to talk about prices on this channel, but these guns are extremely good value for money when you compare them to something like a Beretta 694 ACS, which, let's not forget, has got an adjustable rib, but it hasn't got a removable rib. So you've still got to faff around and sort of play around with the height of the rib with the adjustment and then put on a pattern plate, whereas this you can literally just pop the rib on and then set the Monte Carlo stock up accordingly. I like it. I'm a big fan of it. I think there's a lot of innovation here. There's a lot of features for someone that wants to try something a bit different. Not everybody wants a Brown. Not everybody wants a Beretta. This ain't going to break the bank. This is going to set you up nicely for all sorts of sporting, some trap shooting disciplines, and also let's not forget with those really, really cool, super long Axis chokes, you can even take it wildfowl and put some great big loads through it. So there you go. For the first time here on the Eastfield Gunroom YouTube channel, we have had a look at a Fabarm, and what a Fabarm it is. I like it. Nifty, nifty little thing. I would recommend it wholeheartedly because it ain't going to break the bank. Very, very versatile and offer you a lot of shooting fun because let's not forget, Fabarm is a very well-established manufacturer, been around a long time, good parts availability, and overall a very good reputation in terms of the Italian manufacturers. If you've got any questions about this particular gun, please feel free to contact me directly. Email's on the bottom of the screen. Don't forget to check out the website. Feel free to like and subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to seeing you again here on the Eastfield Gunroom YouTube channel.